Hello, and welcome back to another video. In today's video, I'm going to be explaining how I manifested $1 million business, million with an M. Now, if this is something interesting to you, if you just want to manifest more money, then please stay tuned to the very end of the video because I'm going to be detailing exactly how I accomplished this and how you can do the exact same. Now, this worksheet was created using the 100x intensive mapping worksheet of the intensive realization program. That's where this research was conducted from. So if you yourself wanted a little bit more advanced program for going through this at a much more rapid and smooth pace, then feel free to click the first link in my bio and join our How to Manifest course today. But nonetheless, let us begin. The truth of manifesting wealth. See, there's a secret to the manifestation of wealth that is left unknown because the less people know about it, the less people end up becoming truly wealthy, and thus the more the wealthy people can stay wealthy. See, the key to all wealth transfer in the manifest world is the movement of the energy of abundance. If you believe this is an energy that you deserve to be a part of, then without a doubt, you will find yourself a part of this wealth transfer somehow, just as a natural side effect of the process of manifestation. However, the key thing you need to know is that you don't just have to hope and wish that you can be a part of this movement. Rather, the truth is that on a small level, you already are a part of it, and you already have a big role, even if it's in the smaller section of this big puzzle piece that we're all playing together. Thus, you can see how the manifest movement will work for you and how it will play an effect for you and the ones you love the most. See, the key is that you are already manifesting, whether you're aware of it or not. This is because we live in an energetic reality that's rule state, like energy resonates with like energy, and energy that is not in resonance has a tendency to breed more dissonance rather than alignment. Or in other words, it will push away your desired reality rather than bring it towards you, because that is what dissonance means, disresonance or out of alignment. Which for us in the grand scheme of money movements means that the more in resonance we come to the energy of money, then the more often we will receive more of it and find ourselves living in the energy of it, the energy of fulfillment, the energy of abundance, the energy that brings us more of what we most desire. See, this is the aspect that most overlook because they've never even considered it. Think of manifestation less as something you do and think of it more as something you are. Where the truth of manifestation isn't that you have to change how you view reality or even change how you go about viewing your energy in order to have your desires into reality. Rather, manifestation is a way of being. It means that you're already manifesting based on the fact that you exist at all. And the key to this whole movement is that where intention goes, that is where energy flows. This is the secret to manifestation and the key factor that led me to grow a business to $1 million due to understanding the core implications of these above statements. See, everything came down to the understanding of the nature of energy that allowed me to resonate with the energy of abundance and then take the inspired actions from that base, which is how I achieved this goal of mine. Now, for you starting off, when attempting to shift from your current state of being to this newfound state of being of abundance, at first you might find that it seems like you're doing something wrong. It may appear that the manifestation practice is not actually working, when in reality, this is actually the final steps before your manifestation can actually be delivered to you in full. See, what we're doing is creating the habit of abundance. So all of your old habits will start to come back at full force to attempt to bring you back to your usual baseline state of being, rather than the new one we're creating for you right now. So at this point, your old habits will try to draw you back towards old ways of being, old energies, old understandings, old assumptions. And when they try to draw you back to everything other than what will naturally aid you in the cultivation of abundance, what you have to do is stay in resonance to your newfound state, stay in alignment to the abundance that you're creating. You'll find that there's now a slight dissonance in place between you now and the you that you want to be. Yet, this is in fact a good thing, because we can consider this the purge of old energy to allow room for the new energy to manifest out in full and aid you in the creation of your new reality. While going through this purge, you might even find that your present state of tangible abundance will diminish as you're recreating your energy for a higher state of abundance. One fact is actually occurring here is that energetic ties with your old reality are pruning away as the new habits of living in a state of abundance occur. This is where you yourself are living in the energy of fulfillment, abundance, joy, etc., where the energy you live from is the pure heightened state and you're practicing continuing to live from it, while reality around you is changing to match the resonance of the energy you yourself are internally living in now. Now, this next step is taught in previous reality realization masterclasses, but what you'll want to do in the moments where the purge is occurring at full force and the energy of dissonance is a bit more hiding than usual is to deliberately celebrate this moment. Like, woo, this is amazing. I love this. Ah, ha, ha. You're going to deliberately celebrate this moment as if this was the exact situation that brought you more of the abundance and wealth that you desired. Because in reality, it is. That's exactly what is happening here. It is exactly this point in time where the new opportunities are able to be delivered to you because room has been made in the ether around you to create the desired reality that's most true and worthwhile to you. So when undergoing this process, don't try to force or resist the changes taking place, because the more you allow the purge to naturally flow, the faster and more smoothly it will go, to the point that it can be easier than expected for the abundance desire to find your new desired resonance that you've been practicing living from, and will at this point start to readily attract to you that which you're most in resonance with in full force. It's at this point, with your baseline energy becoming habituated to this new flow of abundance and fulfillment, once you've overcome the primary parts of the purge, that you will soon find that the key movement now will be from your inspired actions. Or, in other words, the actions you take now that are different than normal, but feel as if they're inspired or guided, as if you're being led somewhere with knowingness and confidence, rather than the passive confusion and worry that many actions you likely are thinking of taking may feel like when you're pondering pursuing them in the current state that you're currently in, as this purge is continuing to ensue on lower levels of intensity while your energy is completing its recreation into the image you have for it. Now, if you want the easier way that's most efficient to successfully move through the entire purge process with the least amount of deviation from the smooth path, just click this link or click the first link in our bio and enroll in the How to Manifest course today to learn the techniques we recommend for honing your emotional basis in order to make the most of all your manifestations and move them forward in time rather than backwards in time, where this isn't the end, but only the beginning. See, you have to understand consciously that in order for you to have your manifestations move from a future-paced state to a present moment-paced state, or in other words, instead of thinking of them as a goal that you have out far in the future, you have to bring that goal into the present moment to experience it as if it is happening now. In other words, if you think manifestation is something you have to do or develop, your perception basis, which is what manifestation uses to create your reality, will simply say that your desires are always on the way, and you'll consistently receive the manifestations of the opportunities and the positive trajectories, but you'll rarely receive the outcome you expect due to how you are progressing. As such, one of the easiest and most effective ways for you to utilize your natural ability of manifestation to receive the outcomes you desire now is to expand your perception of what you expect to receive, to deliberately imagine better than you desire in order for your desire to become a step on the path rather than the end of the path. When your primary desire becomes experiences in your mind that feel like easy steps towards your new, more expansive desired reality, it's at this point then that you'll find that they will just spontaneously manifest in ways that can be considered rather effortless in comparison to what was required before, just due to the fact that you living in a reality where you have a higher order desire changes the emotional consistency of your baseline reality. For example, if you're 17 years old and you just enrolled in college, making $1 million might just be your biggest goal in life overall. However, if you've just made $1 million in the past month, you'll likely see this as a worthy goal, but only a small step on your path, because at this point, you logically have a much, much higher goal than this if you're still focused on making money at this point. Emotional consistency you're utilizing in your perception will state that making $1 million is easy for you at this level due to the goals you set for yourself and the reality you experience as true. It's working precisely at this point in your perception that you can skip a step in the order of reality using manifestation and the techniques you're about to learn. See, the key to manifesting at this level is understanding that you can create the perception of a reality to be true to you without actually experiencing it at all in the physical plane. So what we'll be doing then is setting a goal much higher than your actual goal and allowing ourselves to undergo a process of automatic writing and visioning that will change what the brain believes to be true about your reality around you, thus changing the inner emotional consistency you operate from, where the old goal is now just a stepping stone, and this new goal is what your brain believes to be your true focus in life. Because if you remember correctly, we took our future goal and we made it something that is true for us now, where our current old goal is now something in the past, where and put in different ways. If your original goal was to manifest $1 million, we're now making that something past paced, where your new goal is going to be something much higher than $1 million, just to make sure that when you enter the higher emotional resonance and the emotional consistency of this higher order opportunity and the purges come, it's worth it. And it goes much faster and much more efficient because the opportunities you see on your journey now were the old manifestations in the first place. So what occurs when you do this successfully is that your reality will literally instantly change to reflect this new higher order path. You'll start to see the experiences and opportunities you naturally receive jump up a grade in potency because they're now in alignment to the higher order goal rather than the old goal. You'll start to see reality change as if this old goal was a side quest rather than the main campaign. You'll start to see new insights, awareness, and outcomes that perfectly suit you towards this new goal. But in fact, these are actually the outcomes you had been originally desiring that you can now embrace fully because you, operating in this trajectory, only see them as the opportunities taking you to your new higher goal if you remain focused on it. This is a cheat code, and you should use it wisely because it will actually change your entire path actually instantly. And I have to repeat this because many don't listen and do this for fun. And then they start to freak out when their desires start to rush at them like a train and they cannot handle the intensity of pleasure that comes from having your wildest dreams start popping up into reality as if they didn't even require effort in the first place. This is actually important. Please, please take heed to this because when manifestations start to come, it doesn't just come from the main route, it comes from everywhere. When you start having these manifestations come from everywhere, you can freak out because it's like, whoa, this is a little too much good. Am I supposed to be experiencing this? That is what happens. And when you can stay stable state in emotional resonance and to that higher emotional reality with knowingness, with stability, with fulfillment, with abundance, with a sense of peace and calm, everything works out so much better. So it's very, very important to keep that in mind while we continue going. See, is at these points where the present moment awareness taught in the past few videos becomes most important because sometimes it is that too much success is more emotionally jarring than too much failure. Remember, energy flows where intention goes. You have to operate the reality where your desires come to you easily as if it was a normal and natural reality for you. Otherwise, you'll freak out and your perception basis will return to the previous state where your goals seem hard and difficult to you because it's the energy of freaking out that's in resonance to difficulty and hard manifestations, where it's the energy of this is just a step on my path that's actually in resonance to the ease and effortless realizations of your desired realities and manifestations that you're looking for. This is the key to moving through the purge without actually having the purge affect you. That is the key. So in those cases where the energy of freaking out enters existence, then the best solution, once again, is simply just enroll in our How to Manifest course. Take those techniques that you learn, because these are our recommended ones for honing your emotional basis so that you stay stable during these high energy points, whether you get everything you want or the purge is happening and you're still going through it. These are going to be the techniques that will help you move from your manifestations being a forward in time motion or backwards in time motion, where this isn't the end, but only the beginning, where manifestation becomes your way of life. Now, moving into the techniques you can apply right now to receive your manifestations now, the first thing you're going to want to do is define the higher order manifestation. So to begin, we will need to get into a state where the goal you actually have is easy to achieve, so you can gain the North Star state of being. Or in other words, the feeling basis of whatever that higher order goal's realization might be like. Using the original example, let's say your initial goal is to make $1 million and drop out of college so you can focus on growing your business to live life as an entrepreneur. This was your original goal, and it's going all fine and dandy, but you've gotten stuck in your business's monetization strategies for higher order things, and you feel that at this rate, you'll never achieve your dream in the way that you want to. The first thing you're going to want to do is to make that goal even bigger. This might seem counterintuitive, but this is exactly what you're going to want to do. If right now the goal is making $1 million to become an entrepreneur, then you're going to need to make the goal making $100 million. It can start big, but all we need to do is have the starting point be at a much higher order reality and alignment / resonance to the original goal, so that when our progressions are supported and the side effects start to ensure, everything will work out the way that we need to, because the goal isn't separate in emotional consistency from the original desire. You can think about it like this. If your original goal was to make $1 million it wouldn't necessarily make sense to make the new goal become the president. Sure, you could say that that's in alignment to wealth or success or fame or fortune, or to be able to support and help people, but that's not directly a one-to-one correlation. So when moving towards your path towards this new goal, it's going to start moving in weird directions, and the purges will be confusing for you. Is the main problem. It's easiest when the purges are in alignment to the goal, so that you can see that this is part of a progression and you don't have worry, you don't have confusion pop up. It's just the easiest way to move forward in this linear progression straight line. Now, what you'll want to do when you choose that new goal is to focus less on the outcomes and focus on the energies of what else in reality would be like, will likely be occurring now that you achieve this higher order goal. For example, if you made $100 million, who would you meet that congratulates you? Where are you able to go now? What are you able to accomplish now? How much fulfillment do you feel for changing the world in such a massive and life-expanding way that allows you to even make $100 million in the first place? These are the types of questions you'd be thinking of and answering in the next step. Now, do note, this new goal really does not need to be your actual goal, but it will become your new goal. For the purpose of speed-based manifestation, this really is one of the easiest and most effective ways of going about quantum jumping into new dimensions of reality where certain things already exist for you that logically don't make sense to work, other than because of the fact that we're using the natural process of manifestation in relation to how reality naturally works for metaphysical creation dynamics. Now, once you're clear on your goal, once you're clear on your next steps, we're now going to commence the automatic writing for realization. So now once you set the new higher order goal, you're going to want to enter the automatic writing state that will allow your subconscious mind to connect the two manifestations together as a linear thought process in order to change your baseline emotional consistency to match the higher order reality, so that when the opportunities, being the old manifestations, start to occur, you'll accept them as normal due to the journey you're already on. The easiest way to do this is to start by setting a timer around 25 minutes long on each of the time periods mentioned below. Automatically write in past, present tense what you'll be experiencing in the below amounts of time, living from these states of being that you felt when you made the new goal of imagining this new desired reality at 100x possibility. So remember, for this example, it's the difference between $1 million and $100 million. So that's what we'll be using for these next few month explainers. Now, the categories you're also going to keep in mind in your awareness as you write may include health and fitness, your intellectual life, your emotional life, your character, your spiritual life, your love relationships, parenting your family, social life, financial career, quality of life, and life vision. What this will do is start to expand the limits of your perception, making it easier to manifest your original desire. Or in other words, instead of just writing about $100,000 or $1 million or $10 million or $100 million and just focusing on it purely on the wealth, make sure you include how this wealth gain has impacted the other areas of your life. Have you bought more books now because you're more wealthy? Have you bought in more courses? Have you traveled more? How is your relationship? Have you moved? Like, these are all the things that you're going to also need to include in your descriptions while automatically writing to make sure it's a full holistic experience, not just one category, but all the categories of life that make up a meaningful existence you're going to want to touch upon at some point in each of these different month categories. And that's why it's 25 minutes long, because at first automatic writing is simply writing without thinking. So at first it might seem like gibberish at the beginning, but this is important because it's from this gibberish that we're moving from what is in your conscious mind, what are the conscious thoughts you have right now, into what is in your subconscious mind. What is the subconscious actual goals, actual dreams, actual desires you have? Where is that emotional resonance actually coming from? Because your base first initial thought might be perfect and it might be great, but that emotional consistency, that feeling of fulfillment or abundance that you're desiring, it's rooted deeper. And so if we can go deeper into the point at which we can find it, that's where we're going to find a core baseline foundation that we can stand upon. So that 100x new goal that we have actually has roots. It has roots so that it can be stable and sustainable, so that when we're moving towards our actual goal on the path to this higher order goal, it's sustainable. And that's the main reason we do it like this. That way it's both fast, effective, yet also streamlined, simple, and effortless. So first, it's just 1 month in. Say you're living from the feeling of fulfillment or abundance for 1 month, and it allowed you to manifest $100,000. Because of this, you found yourself becoming what? What did you find yourself becoming? For me, when I first made the $1 million, I first invested all my money back into the business and back into self-education, which is why I mentioned education first. Then I expanded out. I got a new place. I started traveling the world, Hawaii, all different types of places, LA, across the world, and expanded it out further and further from there. And so for you, that's what you're going to want to do at each of these specific time points from 1 month, 3 month, 1 year, 3 years, and 7 years. And by doing this through these different time periods, what you're doing is creating in your mind a visual model for what this progression can look like. And by having there be a linear sense of this makes sense to progress in this particular way towards my ultimate goal, there adds in the additions of naturalness into this progression. That is what more or less allows it to even exist at all as an effective progression. So once you complete this assignment and you do the 25 minutes or each of these time periods, you're going to already feel a world of different from the beginning. Now, remember, all we're using this technique for is to generate the deepest feelings, to figure out for this long time period, 1, how do we expand our potential? And 2, how do we now take those new feelings that we feel and make them deeper, make them more core, so that when we're practicing living from this new baseline state of being, it's easy for us. That is the purpose of this technique, and that's what you're going to find at the very, very end. Now, once you complete it, if you actually love this technique and you want to do more techniques like it, just enroll in the How to Manifest course to learn the techniques we recommend for honing your emotional basis to a much higher level in order to make the most of all your manifestations and move them forward in time rather than backwards in time, where this isn't the end, but only the beginning. And so with that, I want to leave you all to actually go ahead and get started on this assignment now so that you can start experiencing what I'm meaning for yourself. And with that, I will talk to you later. Peace.